Inspector General of the National Police Service, the Deputy Inspector General, the Regional Security Team, and the commanders of this operation. We were required by the National Security Council to review this operation, so we started first of all with meetings with the commanders and the team that is working on this operation, which is roughly about a month old. So one, we are very grateful, and we want to thank our officers who have been on this operation, because for the last 1 month that they have been here, frankly, we have not had any worrisome incidents of security in this place. We have had so many meetings with members of the public. Wananchi are very happy about the operation and the curfew. We have met religious leaders, members of the Marsabit Interfaith Council. We are about to have a meeting with the political leadership of this county. And then we have had a long chat with the administrators here, the chiefs, assistant chiefs, and the others. So we have gotten very useful feedback. And now the operation is going on. So far, over 200 guns have been collected and over 3,000 bullets have been recovered from this operation. We are hoping that more work in the second month of this operation, because we extended the curfew by another 30 days, more work will be done so that we can recover more guns, because we believe from intelligence and information we have that there are more guns than the ones that we have collected. And the message we have been passing around to leaders and everyone since morning is that we need to recover more guns. We will review this operation when we have around 3,000 or so guns, because we believe there are still many more guns in wrong hands. We have intensified the operation, and now we are moving to other sections of the county in addition to Marsabit Central and the town. I am very optimistic that we will continue at this pace. We will get all the guns we need, and most importantly, we will keep this place peaceful. The response we have from the local leaders, the community leaders here, and ordinary members of the public, we took time to walk around the shops, to talk to the shopkeepers and the traders in town. They are happy and satisfied with this operation. They have not raised any complaints about the operation. What they are asking is whether or not we can review the hours of the operation to allow for traders to hang on a bit in their businesses. But that in itself is a positive sign, because they are now beginning to think about operating businesses longer hours, which is something they have not been thinking about until the operation. But I have promised that we will review the operation in another 3 to 4 weeks, and subject to the performance of that, of the things that we have allowed to happen over a long period of time. So we will adopt an all of the above approach. We are going to do intensified screening, of people and individuals who move around where they are doing business or whatever they are doing, to ensure that we don't have, aliens and wrong people around here. We will continue to have a communal engagement with members of the public. We are going to intensify our workings with the Interfaith Council to ensure that community leaders are involved in the decisions that we make. But most importantly, we have this morning taken a decision to do 100% review of the administrative infrastructure in Marsabit, because there are very fundamental weaknesses here. I mean, I am not going to lie to the public. The challenges we have with the deployment we have here of chiefs, assistant chiefs, and so on, is such that unless we address it, we will not solve the problems we have. The way that some of the chiefs, assistant chiefs may have been recruited in the past was outside because of political pressure and sometimes too much attention to irrelevant things like clan affiliation and so on and so forth. And in the process, many of the administrators, actually, you can tell from the way they are working, have got their loyalties elsewhere, not in providing peace and security to the local people. And that's why some of them are not as forthcoming when it comes to giving information and cooperating with the security agencies who are here. We have too many security teams in Marsabit to have even a single security incident. When you look at overall deployment of security resources per capita, this is probably one of the counties that is most manned by security teams. We have more boots on the ground here in Marsabit than we do in over 80% of the counties in the country. So why should we have a problem? It could be a challenge in terms of reorganizing our administrative infrastructure so that it's much more cohesive, it works better in a multi-agency manner, cooperates with the others better. We have, because we are closer to a border, we have KDF deployment that is looking at the border. But we also have very strong presence of police, the special teams of the police on the ground. So we are reviewing all this and answering that question, because that is what the National Security Council asked us to do. They're asking us, how is it that with the numbers that we have on the ground and with the people who are posted here, we can have such security problems? And we have identified the problems. Sometimes poor coordination among us, our security teams, infiltration and interference sometimes by politics, and so on. So we will review all this, and we will come back again after 1 month now to institute a proper system. We are going to retrain our administrators here, our local administrators, our assistant chiefs and chiefs in Marsabit. All of them have to be trained. And we have agreed this morning. We're going to work, because fortunately we have a template, we have a program, that we use at the Office of the President. We will do a local program here and retrain them all over again and reorient them to what they need to do. We will review each one of them, and those who can pass master will see and look at the records of performance and so on. Because there is no reason why a county that is so endowed like this one should have such small problems that are now inhibiting economic growth and development. I mean, all of you wonderful people, look around this county. Even when you drive along this town, I mean, there is almost nothing you cannot do here. I mean, tourism can thrive here, all manner of business. We are very close to a very important border here and so on. This is a place whose economy should grow in an accelerated manner if we keep the peace and the determination of government. That's why we are here today, is that we make sure Marsabit remains peaceful today, tomorrow, and always. And we are going to do that. We are not doing these things just for today. We want to ensure that we create an institutionalized and sustainable framework of keeping this for a long time. Thank you.
Perhaps a question would be, the ones that have been recovered here, are they out of voluntary surrender or the operation, and do we have suspects in custody?
We have several suspects in custody. We have investigations we are carrying out on certain individuals. Obviously, I'm not going to say that right now. There's one individual, I must be frank and say I'm very disappointed about how that individual was released through the justice system in a manner that is not impressive to us. But thankfully, we will appeal. We are going back to court to appeal, because we have sufficient evidence to incriminate that individual in activities they have been doing. We are grateful that KDF has actually acted, because that individual was working for KDF before. And we will walk the path of the law until the logical conclusion on this matter. But we have suspects, we have people, individuals we are investigating. Some here, some unfortunately in as far away as Nairobi, in relation to supporting incitement and crime in this part of the country. I will not say that. We have presented some to court. We are preparing to present a few more to court, and we will continue that way.
Maybe Waziri, 1 year. Is it by coincidence or by design that maybe the incidents appear, especially during the electioneering period?
No, I mean, the challenges of insecurity, to be fair, in Marsabit have always been there. They have just been building up. I don't want to create an impression that unnecessarily incriminates politicians and say, it's the politicians who are creating this. There could be a politician or two who are involved. There could be 1 or 2 political leaders who are involved. But that doesn't speak a statement about the politics of Marsabit. It's a feature that has been going on for a while. And some of the people we have in custody are not even necessarily politicians. 1 or 2 may be friends of politicians, but not all of them are politicians. It's a phenomenon that we are dealing with. The political events may take advantage of it, but they are not the cause of what we are dealing with. That's why we want to divorce everything we are doing from politics. Because if you do, it means that we will be very active now when we have elections around the corner, then after the elections we walk away. That's not the case. This is a phenomenon that, and I described it, there are certain aspects related to the administrative management we've done here, the aspects related to our proximity to the border, and the aspects that we have not managed effectively before, the aspects related to individuals who have been benefiting from crime and therefore have created a system for a period of time, whether that benefit is related to politics or otherwise. But it doesn't matter to us now. What matters is that we want to go to the root cause of this. We want to sort this out. And we came here to demonstrate the resolve of His Excellency the President and the resolve of the National Security Council to ensure that Marsabit remains peaceful. And it's in the interest of our President. He has expressed himself before. He demanded that we make this trip, and he demanded answers for the NSC. And we are here so that we can table a report to the National Security Council on actions that have happened here. whether this has worked or not worked, and additional measures that we think need to be taken, which we will present to the National Security Council for approval.
In terms of porous border, what are you doing to ensure that you seal the loopholes?
You know, borders around the world have got challenges. I would also hate a situation where we look like we are making excuses when we have a problem and we have a challenge among ourselves, and every day we point to our borders and so on. But that is the more reason why we Kenyans pay for a security sector to defend them against those borders. Some of the challenges may be related to the borders, but that's not the only reason. People don't come from across their country to come and tell us to kill each other. One or two may be a criminal who comes around and recruits their friends, but we should have enough sense in our heads to know that we cannot kill each other. And we cannot blame the border for madness within. Some of it has got to do with how we are managing ourselves and the way we are managing our divisive politics. Nobody comes from across the border to tell us to hate each other because we are either Gabra or Borana or Rendile or Buruch or whatever the case may be. Some of these negative politics and ethnicity that fuels, and aggravates the situation in Marsabit has nothing to do with the border. So sometimes it's important for us to be honest and straightforward and straight up with the challenges that we face. Instead of always blaming, pointing fingers this way or that way, let's solve the problem we have. We have a country to keep. We have our people who need to live in peace, who have economic activities that they want to undertake, and we have citizens of this country we need to protect. And if that danger is going to come from that border, it is our responsibility to deal with it. That's why we're here. So we will not blame others for our problems. We will solve our problems. Thank you.
We know the origin of some of the arms that have been recovered so far.
No, we are profiling this. As I said earlier, and I've been telling the commanders, we are profiling some of these cases. I do not want to comment about that at the moment. Because you see, again, as a rule of thumb, when investigations and sensitive investigations are going on, we also don't write sideline commentaries. Because then we make the work of our commanders unnecessarily difficult. Because these are not matters. So I know that they are very useful information. They have investigations have pointed them to particular sources, and we are encouraging them and resourcing them to go that direction, because it is by exhausting those sources that will bring this problem to an end. As I said, we are applying an all of the above approach. There's nothing we are leaving to chance. Thank you.
Na mwisho waziri, ulikutana na kina mama, wengi wale kina mama ambao ulikutana nao ni wakimbizi wa ndani kwa ndani. Wengi wa kina mama ulikutana nao ni wakimbizi wa ndani kwa ndani. Serikali inafanya nini kuweza kuona kwamba wanarudi kwao, na hata ikiwezekana waziri wanafidiwa, maana nyumba zao zilichomwa, wakapoteza mali yao, muda mrefu hawakuwa nyumbani?
We are doing the best we can to address the challenges of our people. Tulizungumza nao akina mama, tukakubaliana wale ambao wako na shida, hata tumewashauri waunde kamati ili tutumie hiyo kamati kushauriana nao kuhusu vile tunaweza kuwasaidia, tujue shida zao, tujue mahitaji yao, ili tujipange kama serikali tukishirikiana na serikali ya kaunti hii kuwasaidia. Na kusema tu kweli, mimi sitaki kutumia hayo mambo unayoyatumia kusema kuna wakimbizi pande hii. Kuna Wakenya ambao wanaishi katika kaunti ya Marsabit ambao wameathiriwa na shida hizi kwa muda mrefu. Sasa sisi zote tuko pamoja. Gavana wetu wako hapa wa Marsabit na viongozi wako hapa. Sisi zote tutashirikiana na tunaendelea kushauriana vile tutawatumikia wananchi wetu. Wale akina mama ambao wameumia kwa shida ya hii mambo ya insecurity, tutaona vile tutawasaidia. Serikali kila wakati tuko na mpango. Wale ambao wanahitaji chakula tayari tunatoa chakula pande hii, sababu tuna chakula ya kutosha. Hakuna Mkenya ataathiriwa kwa sababu ya chakula. Tuko na chakula ya kutosha, na hata leo hii asubuhi ndugu zetu katika wizara inayohusika, PS wetu Bwana Marwa na Waziri Margaret Kobia wamejulishwa tutaongeza chakula. Tumekuwa tukitoa msaada wa chakula hapa, tutaendelea kuongeza, na vikosi vyote vya usalama viko hapa kushirikiana na hawa kuhakikisha kwamba wananchi wetu hawana shida yoyote, hasa hawa akina mama tunawasaidia. Na leo asubuhi nimewashauri watengeneze kamati yao ya akina mama, ili sasa tuwe na chombo cha kuwafikia hawa akina mama na kushauriana nao vile tunaweza kuwasaidia wakati wa shida hii wamepata. Asante sana. Mi nafikiri shule zote zimefunguliwa na tumekubaliana za county commission na county security team shule zote zifunguliwe. Kama kuna shule ambayo iko na shida mimi sitajulisha, sababu yale mashule ambayo yalifunguliwa hata tulitoa msaada kufanya kazi kati ya county security team na county government kufungua mashule zote. Na wakati tuko hapa mimi nitachukua nafasi nione kama naweza kuzuru shule zingine kuangalia kama wanaendelea na mipango ya masomo vile tulikubaliana. Kwa sababu kwa muda wa mwezi mmoja sasa kumekuwa na amani kabisa katika kaunti, na tunataka kuendelea katika huo mkondo wa kuwa na amani ili shughuli zingine zote sirejeshwe na mambo kama hayo. Sawa? Asante.